Heartthrob never. I mean heartthrob forever.
Okay, I want to address Panda Chop and Tina Torres interview. I got hip to this interview listening to Tariq Nasheed's thing. He did a little thing on it. And, as always, he always chop it up real good about it. But I wanted to add my 2 cents on it, too. So basically, she's in line with this whole thing of American blacks being supremacists, black supremacists. And when you hear this kind of stuff, you just always have to say, like, man, you cannot make it up. So the interviewer on Panda Chop, he asked her about the Fat Joe situation and his statement about American blacks. And, she basically said that in America right now, there are black supremacists. This is what she said, that in America, we have black supremacists. We have a black supremacist issue. So now blacks are black supremacists. And this is just, she didn't say, so now blacks are black supremacists. It's just what I'm saying. But she did say that there are black supremacists in America. How are American blacks black supremacists? So now American blacks is, the slave drivers. Now they is systematically keeping other ethnic groups down. So now American blacks have financial power to, oppress people. You can't make this up. She said that. I'm like, how are American blacks, black supremacists? When American blacks don't have the power, the resources, the legislation, they don't have their own country to be supremacists over any other ethnic group. And then the interviewer asked her, you say it's black supremacy, but do you think it's just that American blacks are just tired of having to deal with everything that they've been dealing with and everything that they went through, and they just fed up and they just starting to speak out about it? That's what he asked her. Like, you sure you don't kind of want to rephrase that? Like, you sure you want to say that they black supremacists, or they just finally speaking out about everything that's going on? And she said no. She said no. And I'm like, how you going to speak for our demographic? The interviewer asked you a question. And I guess she could, respond the way she wanted to because he asked her. But, you don't speak for the American black demographic, Ms. Torres. Because that's exactly what it is. American blacks have grown tired of everybody, blaming us for everything. American blacks have grown tired of being everybody's whipping board and neglected underclass. Then she says that there's an agenda, a black supremacist agenda. And she referenced Beyonce and a creative work that Beyonce had with the title of Black is King. For any of y'all that saw or heard that, that piece of media from Beyonce, the Black is King thing, she said that was black supremacists and a black supremacist agenda. Then she said she watched a commercial that advertised vitamins for black women. And she said she watched the commercial and it was like, why is it not vitamins for all women? Like, we all have titties, we all have pussies, we have different hair texture, but we're all women. Why not vitamins for all women? And I'm like, seriously? Like, for real, every other ethnic group has their own country. And in America, they have their own communities in which black people don't and can't live due to violence against them. They have their own stores. They have their own TV channels for them to speak in their own languages. They get government grants for housing that is specifically for them Blacks can't get those resources that are specifically for them. They got, banks that are specifically for them, grocery stores, schools just for them, hospitals, jobs, everything. Everything that's for them is for them. American black people can never and will never be able to receive any resource for any other ethnic group that's earmarked for them. But everybody can receive resources from things that are for us. Yet this woman, Tina Torres, is mad about a commercial that advertised for black women. She's mad about a commercial that advertised vitamins for black women. And see, this illustrates that all the other ethnic groups are fine with everything being for them. All the resources and, whatever there is to get being for them. But when American blacks get something for American blacks, they hate it with every fiber of their being. See, there's no denying this. She said, why does it have to be for black women and not all women? That we all have titties and we all have vaginas. She said, we all have, different hair texture, but this makes no sense. Because for real, I'm like, I hear what she's saying, but there's also, different ethnicities need different things. So no, we're not the same. And black women specifically need a whole different level of nutrition, that's going to come in the form of vitamins and sunlight and all types of stuff. Black women specifically need these types of nutritional variances compared to other ethnic groups of women. Yeah, we consume basically the same foods and vitamin components, but the absorption and metabolism of those nutrients into an American black female's body is drastically different for American black women and American black people, than it is for other groups, for other ethnic groups. This is just basic science and pathology. You don't have to have a degree in any of this stuff to know this. Different melanated beings, different levels of melanated beings, meaning different shades, different skin tones, all of your pathology is going to be different. Some people are going to require, more or less or certain things. Just amongst the American black population, sickle cell is something that's a thing amongst American blacks, but it's not amongst whites. You see what I'm saying? So the nutritional thing will be different. And then the fact that this had to be spoken on, period, it just illustrates the neglect and hatred that a lot of people and other ethnic groups have for American blacks. As I'm confused at how American blacks are pushing to get things for the American black ethnic group, and everybody wants to stop it. So when American blacks say we need this or we need that, everybody has something to say about it. Everybody wants to stop what American blacks need for their well-being. But American blacks never try to stop other ethnic groups from getting things that they need for their ethnic group. We're not concerned with it. But when we are finally saying, okay, we figured out how to navigate this whole deal, and this is what we need, every other ethnic group has something to say. And this clearly indicates an outright disdain and a hatred for American black people. Then she went into some bloodline dynamics, and this is interesting because we know that the blood quantum laws and ideology was prominent and prevalent and still is in Spain and Latin America. And that's a whole nother story and another show altogether. Now, here's the thing. If American blacks never get to participate in the resources given to them by the American government, yet they always get to participate in the resources earmarked for American blacks by the government, who is the racist or the supremacist? You don't hear black people, American black people on a whole, running around saying that other ethnic groups should be denied what they're asking for the well-being of their ethnic group. That's just something we don't do. So for everybody to sit around and try to make it seem like because now American black people are standing up for themselves, that they are part of a hate group or they're a hate group and they're, advocating black supremacy, that's the reverse psychology supremacist ideology. You see, because if we said the same thing about them, what would they say? When they have all these houses popping up all over the country that are, for Hispanics, that are for Latinos, that are for, Indians, whether they're Southeast Asian Indians or whether they're so-called Native American Indians, we don't get to participate in any of that stuff. But when American blacks say, okay, all right, we see what they got. All right, that's cool. So we need some of that because our neighborhoods are this and that, and our people don't own homes and this and that. We need some of that government, uplift resource. Then it's you're a black supremacist, you're a hate group, and you're looking for a handout. You can't make this up. So, but this was all on the Panda Chop Tina Torres interview. And I just had to give my 2 cents on it because, like I said, when these types of things are being revealed to us, we can't just sit by and allow these people to say the things that they're saying and not directly attack and neutralize and quell what it is that they're talking about. And in regards to her having something to say about the vitamins, for black women, and it's a black supremacist agenda. This is why it's critical for our people to read the works of Dr. Jewel Pookrum. Dr. Jewel Pookrum, Pookrum. This is why it's critical for us to read the works of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Rest in peace to that elder sister. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. When you read the works by those 2 brilliant American black females, you begin to understand, just on this topic, why a difference in nutrition is needed for black women, American black women. And that's just on the nutrition thing. We're not talking about the other mind-blowing subjects that they tackled and gave us, a level of understanding that we didn't have before they made that sacrifice to do that type of research that they did. So no, we're not going to listen to somebody talking about it's black supremacy because there was a commercial advertising vitamins for black women. That's a necessity. If the black women don't want to use the vitamins, okay, but there are plenty of American black women who need that type of thing. And for Tina Torres to open her mouth and be mad about that, that's illustrating a supremacist ideology. We wouldn't dare fix our mouth to say something if they, created, something that said vitamins for Hispanic women. If they did it, then hell, there must be a need for it. But don't stick your lips out when we have nutritional staples for our ethnic group. And we would need that. See, there ain't no American black grocery stores where the nutrition is held. But there are plenty of Hispanic and Latino grocery stores that cater specifically to their dietary wants and needs. We don't have that same thing, and I wonder why. So like I said, everybody's sitting around talking about American blacks because they have now started to self-identify and self-classify who they are according to lineage. And this has upset the entire world. Like, y'all got to think about that. An ethnic group of people who are militarily non-existent, who don't hold any wealth that would be a threat to anybody on the planet, as far as we know. Yeah, we have money as far as that goes, but we're not a threat militarily or anything like that to anybody. And for the most part, you have all these people trying to scapegoat, minimize, and denigrate American blacks for them finally saying we are a specific and unique ethnic group amongst all these ethnic groups. Not that we're better than them, but we, as Tariq Nasheed would say, we've had an exogenesis, and this is who we are. And because someone is saying that, it's done turned the whole conversation of people who used to just shovel us as these, unwanted Africans, onto other ethnic groups, and everybody else could say, well, I'm Jamaican and I'm this and I'm Haitian and I'm Nigerian and this. But when American blacks say, well, I'm American black or foundational black American, you're mad about that? You're saying that that's divisive? How is it divisive when y'all were the ones who said, we're Jamaican, we're Haitian, we're Caribbean, we're African, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Zimbabwean, whatever. We're, Hispanic, Mexican, Puerto Rican, whatever it is. Why are all of the other ethnic groups allowed to say and self-classify themselves, but American blacks cannot? Like, you really have to think about this. And so finally, I want to say this too. I noticed that this YouTube thing, man, looking at a lot of other people's content, man, people don't participate in folks. They don't post in the comments. They don't, like, I'm confused as to what, like, how people are expecting a better content and nobody supports the people's content that's up. This whole talking head thing, with the camera and all, just to get on camera just to talk. And, I don't get. Because if it's just dialogue, unless people are, interacting in the comments, why would a person get on and show themselves on camera? I don't know. That's another topic too. But anyway, back to the whole thing. This whole thing with Panda Chop and Tina Torres, that interview about American blacks or FBAs being a hate group and black supremacists. Y'all need to check that out. And for those of y'all that have your own channels and those of you who don't have your channel, maybe you should start one so that you can contribute to our counter racism strategy against these people who are talking crazy about American blacks. Get active. I'm out.
Heartthrob never. Heartthrob forever.